Yeah, let's do it. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Welcome to Lightworkers Unite, everybody.
Everybody with Mayum and Manjeet.
Lightworkers Unite is a podcast and social show hosted by intuitive women, lightworkers, and most importantly, friends, Mayum and Manjeet. Welcome to our podcast, Lightworkers Unite, where we believe there is a lightworker within all of us.
Whether you are a medium, an educator, or a nuclear medicine technologist, there is a lightworker within you, and we have work to do.
This is a safe and sacred place where lightworkers connect, grow, and learn.
And share our light with the world.
Here. All right. So,
Awesome.
oh gosh. Remind me, I do have business to chat with you about that probably shouldn't be on air, but well, let's bring it up because
Okay.
we need to take a peek. Donna with Kindred Healing Space in Everett is wanting to know when we can come check out the space for our December 2nd Lightworkers Night Sister Circle.
Oh,
Wondering the next couple weeks
yay.
if we could plan that because it's ready. It's been in renovation and it's
Oh,
ready. So I wanted to
fantastic.
talk to you about that.
Yes, we'll
Also,
do that.
she is willing to sell our Lightworkers Unite Oracle cards there at her place
Oh,
and wanted to know about
oh.
how to do that and wholesale prices and et cetera. And I was like, I don't know.
We're
I don't
gonna
know.
do it.
This will
Oh
be
my
my first
gosh,
time
that's
doing
great.
that. So I don't know, but yes.
Wow.
So those are
Okay.
parts of Lightworkers Unite business that we have to, I need to tell you that so we don't forget, because when we log off, then we'll be like, bye.
Yeah,
And
bye. Yeah, totally. Yes. And I can't believe that our sister circle is coming on the 2nd, like in December. That's amazing. That's going to be so much fun. So yes, we have to, folks, if you're interested, book your tickets, get your tickets now, because it's going to be super fun.
yeah,
Super, super great celebration,
Saturday
right? This is
night
the
celebration.
energy of
Yeah,
celebration energy.
yeah, yes, it'll be great. I know that's down the road, and a lot of people are like, I need to get through Halloween. I need to get through Thanksgiving. We
Thanksgiving.
get it.
Yeah.
We get it. So just, maybe put in your little calendar, December 2nd.
Yeah. And I
So
hope you're all
yeah,
going to make it for on Thursday night at 5:30,
yeah, let's
right?
talk about that. Our
Our
witches and
witches and
hags.
hags.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that little part, our beginning of our podcast last time when you said, "Come on, hags."
Yeah, where are you, hags? Come on. I know.
Every time I hear it, I just die. I'm like, oh my gosh, where are you? Where are you? We need you now.
We need you now, people.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a lot of psychic energy around this event, though. Are you feeling that? I feel like already like a lot of things. You know how I am. I get those. I get them like before. So I'm getting like all these weird messages and energy like already. So I don't know. I think whoever's signing up or is going to sign up is gonna be in for some really, really great insight and a lot of fun. It's just
Yeah.
a really cool energy coming through.
Did you get
Yeah.
your lashes? Speaking of fun, did you get your lashes? Amazon
Oh,
package?
yeah.
It was delivered.
Oh,
You probably haven't
I
looked because you
just
just got home.
I
There,
just got home
I saw a
last
picture
night.
of it on your front door. You know how they send a picture? It's been delivered. And how about me? I was like, no, initially my first reaction was, gosh darn it, they delivered to the wrong house. That's
Did it look like it?
because I was picturing my house, right? I always see the Amazon packages at my house. I was like, damn it, wrong house, people. I started to go through the process like you delivered it to the wrong house. And then it dawned on me, wait, that was
I
from
meant to do that. You
Oh,
were so thoughtful. Oh my
so
God, you're
funny.
the best. What an
Half a
awesome
second, I was
gift.
annoyed as hell. I was like, dang it. And then I was like, no, wait a second. It's supposed to go there.
Fucking Amazoners.
Yeah. So check it out.
Jeez.
See which
Oh my
ones you're going with.
gosh.
And then yeah.
Oh, thank you, honey. See, this
Yeah.
is why, this is me in her gift giving splendor.
Well, we
Presents
need it.
just show up. I
Yeah.
mean, they just,
Oh,
yeah, no, that's so thoughtful. Thank you, my love.
of
This is
course.
going to be fun. I'm
It's
excited.
gonna be fun. I'm excited too.
Yay.
I'm excited too. I'm excited to
Yeah.
see what shows up. I'm trying, I'm like the opposite. I try not to have anything tell me because I got to be present for today, readings and this, and just don't tell me until we show up. Like once I start getting ready for it, putting my lashes on, the witchy hat, and and then we touch base on Zoom beforehand, then the energy just starts to build. It's like, what?
I know. Isn't that funny? Like, and I think that's a cool thing, right? To acknowledge is like when you are a light worker and you're a spiritual person and you're connecting and tapping into energy or anything like your guides, everyone does it just a little different and they have their own style and own unique process. And
right. See what works
I just
for you.
Honor that. Yes.
Because it used to happen like that. And I didn't like it because then it would be confusing in my readings.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second, So I really try to say, no, just hold on, just wait so that I know for sure that this is for this person or that's for this event. But but sure. But I didn't know that for the longest time.
Yeah.
So it took me learning that and practicing and then saying, no. You have to wait.
I'm in charge actually. Right? Like I'm actually in charge of how I want to receive this information. And I think that's the important piece is sometimes we feel like we don't have that control or that we're somehow negating it or making constrictions on spirit, right? Like who am I to do that? Like I should just let spirit come and do the things.
Right.
But I think that's where, our listeners are at the point, where we're thinking, what is the best way that I'm going to be receiving information that serves me? What are my guidelines? What are my boundaries? Where am I going to be most receptive to receiving that information? How do you want it received? Do you want to hear it? Do you want to see it? Like we've talked about that too.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, I don't want to see shit.
Yeah. And don't fucking touch me. Don't touch me. Do not touch me. Thank you very much.
Spirit. Thank you, spirit ghosts.
Ooh, let's talk about that. Because I have a lot of, so I was at a girls' weekend this weekend. Hello, would-be girls. And I think you were also on a girls' trip too. Isn't that funny? We're both on girls' trips.
I love it.
Love it. We need this, ladies. Everyone needs a good girls' trip.
Yes.
So,
and we're going to have our own Lightworkers Unite retreat at some point. So don't worry.
So excited.
Coming.
It's coming. I'm so excited about
that. I wrote a whole itinerary actually, by the way.
For a retreat?
On this retreat. For our retreat. One of our retreats.
When we start hosting
all this. Yeah, I had all this information. So I just started writing it down on my girls' weekend for our retreat. So we are going to have another side business we're going to arc.
Yeah. Well, if you're listening to our podcast and you're joining our events, now you get to go away with us. How awesome would that be? I'm just excited to gather women together. So we were talking about, it came up, one of the story, we were talking about spirit and we were talking about ghosts. And one of the questions was, one of my girlfriends was sharing a story that when she was younger, how there was a ghost in her house. And so it's really interesting how people will, what's the difference between a ghost and a spirit? Well, there is a slight difference. And I tend to hear that spirit doesn't want to be called a ghost. Like when my dad shows up, I refer to it as spirit. And I think in the learnings and teachers and authors and speakers and longtime spiritual leaders say we call it spirit and try to not refer to them as ghosts. But Suzanne Giesemann she also feels this way. She doesn't like to call them ghosts, but she does discern and say the difference between, I'm curious if how this resonates with you and what your feelings are and what you think a ghost is, was a spirit, basically a soul that has chosen to be on this plane, whether tied to a house or a location or a site, a person, and tends to move things, touch things, flickering the lights. And even though spirit can do all of those things too, she was saying, I was just reading this recently, that she feels a ghost is a soul that chooses to do those things in a location. Like, when you hear a house is haunted or a longtime spirit ghost is still there and wandering the halls or sitting in the window, or people have, like, there's an old theater right, that has a spirit or a ghost that still lingers there. And according to Suzanne Giesemann, she was saying that's the choice of that soul. You know, whether karmically that soul says, you know what, I'm going to do this. That's part of their contract or part of, I don't know if it's history for us humans or just a learning or just, I don't know. I always wonder if it's their choice or is it where they can't or they don't want to or they are lost or, well, I was wondering about the stuck, but again, you know, what resonates, because Lisa Williams always said there's no such thing as a stuck soul. She's always said that, like, beat it into her classrooms or her students. There's no such thing. So, but that's just one teacher saying that. I've never come across a stuck soul, but it is interesting to hear how maybe the soul chooses, or I don't know if they're stuck, but isn't clear. Maybe they're confused. Maybe there's more confusion to the stuckness. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just curious, like what your thoughts are. And do you feel that there's a difference between a ghost and a spirit? Or even just referring to spirit as a ghost? Because I could tell you right now, my dad is like, I'm not a ghost. You know, I hear him like, I'm not a ghost. I'm spirit. I'm a spirit. Funny.
I love that. Yeah. And he,
even though he used to talk about ghosts when I was growing up, he used to talk about it and share stories of ghost stories.
But he's actually said, I'm not a ghost.
In spirit to me, yes.
Oh, wow. Fascinating. Well, I mean, it's such an interesting, I sometimes just think it's like semantics.
Right.
You know, I don't think that it's very, you know, I think it's just it's semantics. I think it's just like the way you are going to describe a spirit, whether you grew up in maybe a traditional religious household.
Yes.
You might have heard them as ghosts, right? And evil spirits, or, you know, right? Like entities, evil entities and possession and right. So like you get right. And I think that's kind of how you're raised and what you're used to hearing. And then, you know, for me growing up very spiritual, that was all spirit, you know, it was never like, you know, because I feel like
bad or negative.
Right. Yeah. And I think ghost, the word ghost also, it has a very scary connotation as well. Correct. So I think spiritual people want to avoid that confusion because the word ghost is really connected to something very scary or hauntings or, you know, malicious or poltergeists or So I think the spiritual community in general has kind of made a stand. That's kind of how it feels to me. Like we're going to call it something a lot bigger than just what our society is defining a ghost as, you know? Yeah. And so but I do think, I wonder if, and I have seen this like with readings, you know, when we've done our readings before, where you'll bump into, actually you and I both have done this at our, one of our house clearings, when we bumped into a soul that was really, wasn't quite stuck, but there was trauma. And so, you know, there was, like you were saying earlier, like this confusion, you know? So, I don't know if it was like this pattern that they were in, kind of, right? Yeah. And he was kind of like, you know, I don't, you know, not stuck per se, but it was just, it was unfinished, but he was just business. Like it was there, like he was just kind of, and you and I both were feeling that, like, yay, you can go, like you can go. Like they don't need our permission, period. They don't. So I understand what, you know, people are saying when they don't believe in like stuck spirits, right? But I also think that when you see, sometimes you bump into these spirits that just have so much to tell you, that there's like a tenaciousness. It's like they're just going to do this. Like, I'm going to stay here. Like, I want to do this. Or I'm, like I have unfinished business, or there's this feeling, and it does feel kind of captured a little,
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I don't,
Unfinished. Yeah,
yeah,
that feels like much more than kind of removing like you said, the negative energy around stuck.
stuck. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
something is because people will be like, oh my God, I don't want that to happen to me when will I be
yeah,
stuck? And so it's like, no, like you said, man, they don't need permission, but there might be something of, like you said, the tenacious or the urgency, or that they must
yes,
do before their soul feels either complete or in order to move on, that I must do. And so, or maybe it is about the energy of the space, the house, the land that they feel that is unfinished, that they have to figure it out before they can move on, or
yeah,
for
yeah.
themselves. I don't feel like there's a higher power saying you can't go until, I don't,
No,
it's
no.
it's our soul journey, and we can make those decisions ourselves.
Yeah, and I do feel like it is they're deciding, like
Yes.
I really want to articulate somehow, because I died in this horrible fire or whatever. Like I feel like I didn't get to express this to this person. And so, yeah, it feels like this real sense of urgency. Like I need to tell you about this. I need to, share this with you. Like, yeah. So I think also spirit is also can be defined as like ghosts are kind of like the human manifestation of or like a spiritual manifestation of a human being, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ghosts, right? Typically. And then like
Right.
spirit refers to like human energy, like spirit, like guides, departed loved ones, but not just departed loved ones, but spirit refers to that energy, the
Right.
cosmic energy, right? So that is also a very big difference, to think of ghosts
Yeah.
as being referring to like a human body, like a form that has passed on and
Yeah.
coming back, versus spirit referring to all energy that
Yeah.
is in
Ascended
the ether,
masters. Yeah.
right?
Right.
Angels, right?
Goddesses. Yeah.
Yes, all
Exactly.
that. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that might be also too why we love to use the word
Yeah.
spirit, right? Because it
Yeah.
is it is more inclusive to actually what we're seeing,
That's right.
not just,
Much
yeah,
more of a giant umbrella that covers all of that.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
And ghost is this little part. But I agree with you, man. It's more tied to humans, right? No
yeah,
one ever
yeah,
says the ghost of Jesus, or I mean,
yeah.
they don't
Or don't
refer to
they?
him.
I don't know. Do they? What don't?
I've
What?
never,
I don't
no,
know.
it's the spirit.
Okay.
The
Oh,
spirit.
gotcha. Oh, yeah. Yep. Thank you. Yep. See,
Yeah.
this is how
Yeah.
biblical I am.
Well, I'm not as much either, but I just know that, yeah, most people, yes. So, or seeing a ghost, I have a ghost in the house. And sometimes I think, well, maybe it's not a ghost in the house that's tight, like a human who's taunting or messing around, being mischievous. I always think that there must be a reason. Now, who's to say? Perhaps there is um, a human who's passed, who is in transition, decides to stay in a house and mess with the people there for whatever reason. Maybe, right?
Yes.
I can't speak to that. I don't know. And those particular energies I wouldn't connect with unless it
Mm.
was a loved one. Like my dad has messed with me in a very fun, playful, high frequency way of love, but not like mischievous, No.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you can feel that, right? Like when it feels different. Like, and I know,
Agreed.
we hear this a lot about, like, I believe there's portals, right? There are portals, lots of dimensional
Openings and
vortexes, right? Like of
yes.
space and time, like Sedona, for example, really
Yeah. Yeah.
powerful, well renowned area for vortexes and portals, right? Like where
Yes.
you're kind of transporting different kinds of energies. And I believe sometimes those energies aren't from this dimension. It doesn't mean they're bad or they're good. It just
Exactly.
means they're different. And so
Yeah.
they have a different frequency when it comes to interacting with our human species. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and so I think there are certain places in the world where, like I have a really great friend of mine, who lived in this apartment building, and she could have sworn like there was a portal like above her bed. And every time, like every night, like things would kind of like come and go, because it was like a really transient place. Like an apartment
Train
buildings are
station.
like that.
Yeah.
Hotels, right? Like where
Yeah.
lots of people
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
coming and
Yeah.
going a lot. Like sometimes that energy kind of builds and grows, and all that kind of stuff. And so she was just like, one day I just said, this is not a hotel.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here, And she just kind of
Close
made
that.
this declaration. Yeah. And she was like in her 20s. It was really awesome. But it kind of shut that down because she was in charge, right? She said, this is actually my space. So get the fuck out of here. Like, don't do this. Because every night it would feel like a different kind of energy.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which, I think it really can happen with areas of high transit.
That's so interesting, because I think there's one in my house, in my bedroom, which I am kind of next door to right now. Ever since we moved in, and now this house is, how old is Amanda? 19 years old. Okay. We had her just when we moved in. And they always say, a house takes just a couple years, definitely by 5 years, it's settled. It's not going to have the creaking and the cracking of a new house that's just been built settling. It's been 19 years and it creaks and cracks every time I'm downstairs. I can hear things going on in my bedroom, like walking around, to the point where it's like someone's walking around, that it creaks the floor and it cracks. And I always hear it. And I look at my mom, I'll be like, do you hear that? And it happens all the time, and not to freak out my family, but I believe perhaps maybe I brought that or started that when all of the entities and spirit were coming to wake, all throughout the night, before I actually claimed that I could do this. I was always seeing spirit my whole life. And I feel like this bedroom is an open portal. And, and there's parts of me that are okay with that. And then there's parts of me that says, maybe I should close that, because I can hear the stuff going on all the time. I mean, it's so interesting that you brought that story up about your friend and above her bed, because I always feel like it is above my bed. I've kind of like Poltergeist, where the rope would come out of the ceiling. You guys remember that?
Wow. It's scary. Yeah.
I've had things, a rope, a string come down, like, to me, what does that say? Pull this, right? That's what that means.
Exactly.
So I know, right? Does that feel weird? But I used to have those things. I'd had enormous mechanical floating submarines above me with buttons and levers, and I knew what to do. Like, I knew what buttons to push and levers and numbers, but I'd wake up and be like, what it was like I'm sleepwalking. I'm doing it.
Yeah. It was like a past life or another dimensional mayum, right? Like a different dimension, like you're in the multiverse.
Yeah.
You're connecting with your other
right.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's just
so many
weird.
beautiful
Or download
ideas.
saying, but it is to watching yourself like you're in a dream state, but you know that you know exactly what you're doing, because in that frame of mind I knew. But as I start to come out of that dream, or that awareness of kind of, I'm in between, I'm awake, but I'm not fully awake, and I'm not asleep, I'm not fully asleep. So I think, long story short, that I have a portal in my bedroom, and maybe I should close it. Maybe I should close it now that I'm acknowledging it. Don't tell John Corelli, please.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the bigger point, isn't it? That you can light workers, you can do anything that you want, that maybe does not serve you. Maybe that served you for a while. Like maybe somehow that was how your dad came. Like, who knows? Like it was born for a reason there. And maybe that's how your protectors are coming and going through your portal for your, right. And maybe that's part of the conversation with the portal energy is, I want you to be very, very discerning, portal, only, like only my protectors, please, that's it. And then I want you to close, 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 close. If you don't,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'd be curious if you did that to see if the creaking subsided or decreased. Anyway.
You know what? That's exactly what I would do, is to see, because it's constant to me.
Wow.
Yeah, I always
I
hear it.
remember you telling me that. Yeah. And I think I was there one time. I think it was when we were designing the Oracle cards.
And it
And
was above
remember
us.
yeah. And we were like, it was almost like somebody was dragging like a chair or something. Like it was like loud. And
It's
I was
very
like,
loud.
and you were just like, yeah, yeah. And next, like, like we're doing this thing. And I'm just like, what is that? She's like, I know. Yeah, it's really loud. Okay. So let's do the balance series. Let's do.
I know.
But I remember that. I remember kind of
know.
going, whoa, that's really loud. Like,
That's really loud.
it was really loud.
And
like
there's no one up there. I'll
Yeah.
check. And this is like when Rocco was alive. I'd be like, Rocco's down here. My cats are down here. The kids, John, there's nobody upstairs. And I'm hearing this. Yeah.
I know. Well,
We have a ghost.
Might be time. It might be time.
Maybe now that
I
we're
know.
talking about it, maybe it's time. Maybe it's like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm ready.
yeah, okay. I like it.
Yeah, ready to
And if
let
I
it.
can't do it, I'll invite my friend Manjeet to help me.
One of the things I'm really sensing with your portal, for some reason, it does feel very winged. Like it does feel very fairy, mischievous. It does feel that way.
Well, we do have that in the
you're
house. Yes.
totally like, and so I wonder if like it feels like elements, like maybe wind, like smoke energy, fire energy, like lighting candles around the area. Smoke,
Yeah.
incense. It feels like honoring all four elements with the closing feels really, for some reason, that's really coming through for me with your portal. Yeah.
Well, so the one in our room is different than the one that was in the girls' room. The fairy wall was an enormous portal, which I do realize now, and we've talked about this on the podcast, that I think I may have inadvertently opened by setting an intention. Fairies come connect with my girls and take them into their dreams, like invite them into the wall. Because I used to tell the girls, the fairies will come and they will take you right into this wall, because we have this beautiful mural of fairyland. Yeah, I used to tell them that. Isn't it? Yeah. And of course, now looking back, because we had, I hired someone to come in who was helping Melina with some things. And she said, there's a portal on this wall, the one that connects the girls, the Melina and Amanda's room. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's the fairy wall, because I did that. So I opened that. But we have since closed that. But the one that's in my room is open, and I have seen fairies in my room, but it is open to just about everything. Old people in line, like they're waiting to go to the doctor's office. That's a big one. I'll wake up and see a line of old people, grandmas and grandpas, and they're like waiting for me. And I'd be like, go away, go. I'm not ready. I'm sleeping. So
wow.
I'm curious. Yeah. But all kinds of entities too, that I used to see that have slowed. Have we talked about this now that we're talking about this portal and seeing ghosts and spirit? I know I had this conversation. I think we talked about this, but my 6-week hiatus, and where I stopped doing individual readings and took a little break to take care of my mom and the whole Medicaid situation. When I did that, my dreams just got jacked. Like my dream, which is normal. Normally I have had crazy ass dreams. But since I started this work and was doing readings in the mediumship, my dreams subsided. It was almost as if, Manj, that I was working all day and connecting all day, so they would let me sleep at night so that I wasn't very conscious of my dreams and travel. Yeah. Well, and during that break, when I wasn't doing readings during the day, my dreams, I was doing so much traveling, so much was coming through that I couldn't even write it all down. And I thought, wow, it was almost like, okay, since you're not connecting during the day anymore, we're going to connect with you at night. So for that 6 weeks, I was even telling John, like, my dreams are back. they're coming back. I mean, and I kind of enjoyed it. Well, as you know, 2 weeks ago, I started work again, and now I'm back to sleeping. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the way though? That's very much like our dreams episode, like, right, where our very first season talking about outlets for spirit. When we shut it off during the day, they find a way to come in. And when we're meditating and in deep meditative states or deeply connecting with spirit with our clients, our brain waves are different, right? They're in theta state, beta state, and all that stuff. So when you're sleeping, your brain goes into those same states energetically, that it's like, oh, that's my telephone number. Like, I know like that frequency is for this human being, and I'm going in. Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
Isn't
I love that.
So interesting. Of course, part of me was thinking, well, why can't I do both? I mean, because I really like the dreams. I really do. I like the messages. I get dream visitations, even just the dreams of my dad. So I was kind of sad that I can't do both. And it might be just I'm depleted or my energy from all day long. And so they allow me to sleep or rest. I don't know. And I am sure I'm in control, and I'm sure I can say it's okay. But it's so interesting to see it.
You've made that connection. You've made that declaration before. I've heard you say, let me sleep. I need to sleep tonight. Right. Yes. You've made that pretty clear. Like, I don't want that. I need to sleep. And so I think spirit really has honored that. Right.
I think
for you.
So too.
Because remember you said, I'm exhausted. Like when I wake up, sometimes I'm really tired. And we were like, you get to say, I don't want spirit tonight. Like, don't do that to me. Right.
Yeah, that's right.
And
let me sleep.
I think that, you've kind of created this
understanding. Guideline.
Right.
I like that.
That, this is what I want. But, that doesn't mean we can't change it. We can say, hey, maybe a little bit of nighttime spirit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of dream work. Like not a lot, not the whole night. But I think I just love that. Like it is really taking control of your spiritual ownership. And we don't know that until you do exactly what you're saying. Like,
oh my gosh,
I want to shut it off, and then it comes back, and then you can find your own balance, and it changes with time. Like, maybe now you're ready for a little bit more at night. Like, I love this. It's like, it is we're in charge of our own spiritual evolution. We are not victims to spirit.
Correct.
Although sometimes it really fucking feels like that.
It does. And I feel like you have to kind of maybe go through that to realize like, whoa, I don't want that. I don't want this. Where some people are like, bring it on. I'll take it. Oh, I love that. Give me some more. And I still think there should be guidelines, and, everyone should be very familiar with the spiritual laws out there.
Yes.
Maybe that should be a podcast, spiritual laws. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Just so people are aware. Yeah.
But, yeah, I love that. Well, I know I'm just going back to the portals.
Yeah.
But in case, I know we kind of skimmed over it, but I think it's kind of an interesting concept when it comes to spirit and ghosts, or,
right.
Because portals are essentially a gateway. It's an opening or a bridge, right, to another dimension or space. And it can be, what's interesting about portals is that, energy can go out, but also energy can come in.
Yes. You have to realize that.
Right. And if we're not sure about what you're bringing in, that can be really terrifying. So,
agreed.
Pulling energy in and out, right? And it can be attached to a location. Like geomagnetic forces, right? Like we were saying, Sedona, but it can also be, I believe, like created, like you were saying, like I created this with my unintentionally, like, oh my God,
unintentionally.
Wow. I opened that door. I created the door. I let them in.
Yeah.
And I think like devices like, the Ouija board, right? Those things, they are also, I believe, ways that you can open
a doorway.
Energy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So please be careful. And now it's the time of Halloween where people are like, ooh, come on over. Let's get a Ouija board out and talk to spirit. Because some people, enjoy that thrill of being scared, right? When we watch all the scary movies, we're talking about ghosts. And I just don't want, I agree with Manjeet. Let's just be mindful or be more educated, learn a little bit more, and definitely set boundaries. And that if you do choose to maybe think about opening something where you want to talk to spirit, just ground yourself, do it in the love and the light only. It might be thrilling or scary to talk to entities you think that are, maybe low vibe. You don't want that. You do not want that. Do not open it.
No. And I think, I don't know why this is all coming up, right? Like maybe there's just somebody out there that's listening right now that it might be wanting to dabble into like the scary or that other dimensional stuff. Yeah. Maybe that's why this is all like morphing and changing. But, portals are pretty powerful. And like maybe what you're just saying about like, I didn't realize, but I fucking created one. And that is very energy coming and going. That might be beautiful and sweet and heartfelt, but also maybe was disrupting to their sleep unintentionally, right? Like those are things we're learning. And so I think being very discerning, like portals can also be like mirrors, doorways, open space. Like remember when we were at that house clearing, we both got to the landing of a staircase.
Yes.
And it felt like portal energy there, right? It
something was open there.
Was right there, right? So there's also like places that have that kind of energy, like windows, also mirrors. There's a lot of places where you can open up, like scrying, looking into the mirror and kind of making your eyes kind of blur. Uh-oh.
Sorry, I'm hearing all kinds of weird shit. I had to turn off I have my camera on watching my mother downstairs, everyone. This is what I do just to make sure she's not on the floor. And then unfortunately, she looks dead. I mean, she's the way she's sleeping with her mouth kind of agape. But I keep taking my AirPods out because I'm right next to my bedroom. So it's like all this talk. I'm hearing these weird sounds and I'm like, is it outside or is it inside? Like a banging.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I think that's outside. I just heard it again. You can't hear it, right? No. Okay.
No.
All right. Sorry. Didn't mean to disrupt, but I had to stop and make sure everything was okay.
Yeah. See, it's opening up all kinds of shit. All this conversation.
I like it.
I know.
Though. It's fun.
Fun. And I mean, like Ouija boards, for example, I just think that it's also got, really bad rap because like it's got like witches, right? Like it's got it, but because it's always been used or projected as receiving and connecting with negative energy.
Correct. Always been associated with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not saying you should use a Ouija board. I'm not interested in that at all because I feel like it does have this overarching energy of receiving negative energy, right? So there's something about the Ouija in particular, you creating a portal. And if your intention is not clear, doesn't matter if you're using a fucking Ouija board or you're having an invocation in front of a mirror or, you're doing anything in some kind of dimensional way, it does not matter if your intention is in the dark and you're not clear about what you're bringing in.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. You're going to get it. You're going to get you're going to be opening up stuff that you just don't know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with you completely. Completely.
Yeah. So don't do it.
But just don't. Yeah.
I know. Connecting with spirit, connecting with loved ones, right? Connecting with positive and powerful energy.
Yeah. Angels, ascended masters. And I love what you said, be clear, like have clarity, have intention of what it is that you want to do. If you're kind of like even sensing like, I want to have a little spooky moment or I want that thrill of being scared, that is still, I mean, maybe a low vibe. I just feel like you'll get it then. Shit. You'll probably get it. So I would say,
Yeah. And it's kind of like like the law of attraction. If your intention is and believe me, we've talked about this. I love scary movies. I love them.
Yeah.
I love them. I
yeah.
love them. I watch them all, and my girls, and we love them. We have so much fun with them. But in almost every one of those movies, there is a sense of, if they're in an invocation or some kind of like they've touched an object or, like something that they didn't know what they were doing. There's a
Right.
sense in every single one of those movies. That's a common thread that
Mhm.
I'm going to dabble in there. Like I'm
Mhm.
going to, I want to try that. I'm going to, or I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to open this fucking box. Like the box looks goddamn scary. Please
Yeah.
don't open the fucking box, but you're going to
Yeah.
open the box because you're curious and you're opening things, right?
Yeah.
Not taking a few minutes to tap into your intuition and go, does this feel like a safe thing for me to do?
Right.
And maybe that's the big question before you engage in any kind of ritual or seance or opening or portal work. Just say, what is my intention here? Right. And is this going to serve me? How does this serve
Right.
the greater good? What
I
is the
agree.
energy that I'm connecting to here? And if your instincts are telling you no, then it's time to just put that away. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm a big fan of that. I think whatever device it is, your intention is everything, whatever you're trying to connect to, especially during this, really scary season. It is fun to, dressing up like
I
hags and witches
agree.
and shit.
I know. It's
We're
just
doing that.
right. A ghost.
But
right. A white sheet ghost. I love that too. So I had to look it up what Ouija actually meant because like you said,
Mhm.
it has always been kind of associated in a very
Right.
negative, evil, scary, like movies been made about it, all this. And I
Yeah.
played with a Ouija board when I was younger too, and nothing good came of it. I will say that was always very scary. But so here, when you look it
Mm.
up, like the Ouija meaning, there's a story that pops up. I don't know if you've heard this. The popular belief that the word Ouija comes from the French and German words for yes is a misconception. So I didn't know that. In fact, the name was given from a word spelled out on the board when medium Helen Peters, Nosworthy, I think it's how, asked the board to name itself. When asked what the word meant, Ouija, it responded, good luck.
Jesus Christ. Does that not fit the fucking story we're talking about? Good luck with what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Because
I have chills all over my body when I read that.
yes,
I was like, holy
you don't know me.
shit.
You don't know me, this
Yeah.
portal saying, you don't know me. You don't, good luck with what you're
So-
going to get. Oh my gosh. That's
Isn't
crazy.
that crazy? Ask
Well,
the
it makes
board
so
what
much
Ouija meant.
sense.
Yeah. Good luck. Oh, see
Yeah.
now,
Like you don't know
do
what you're
it.
getting. Yes. Yeah. Just be discerning, right? With anything that you're doing, anything that you're invoking or connecting with, or, because otherwise, good fucking luck.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get. Like,
You
be
don't know what
very,
you're
very clear.
Very,
Yeah.
very clear. I wonder what you and I would get
Wow.
if we played with one. Because there's a part of me like, ooh, well, what if Manjeet and I did it? No, but then then I see this. Good luck, man.
Good luck.
Good luck with
Good
that.
luck, ladies.
Good luck, ladies. Yeah, no.
Well, honestly, I feel like if it were you and me, if we did do something like that, which I really don't have any like desire to do that, but
same.
if we were, I do think it is about intention, right? Like that's the whole thing. I'm really saying like if I'm going into this with love and light in my heart, bringing my guides forward for protection and integrity, then I really don't think it matters if you're using a mirror, you're using that, you're using, anything really.
A pendulum. I mean,
pendulum. Yes.
Yeah,
Cards, oracle cards.
Oracle.
Anything.
Exactly.
I think, but it is really like there's a few pieces of resistance with the Ouija, right? Because you're yeah. It's the resistance. Yeah. I just went French because Ouija. But I think it already is encompassing a certain kind of energy. And I think this is what I love about our oracle deck is they're created to open passages and communication, with the spirit. And but it's designed and written with all the love in our hearts.
That's right.
And so
And
our
light.
goal is when people feel them, they're going to feel that. And Ouija typically, traditionally, has been created and used in very different ways, negative and also positive, right? So it has its own energy you got to break through if you're going to use it, which is right.
But
negative.
that just sounds like a lot of work. That sounds so gross to me. Like, that's a lot of work. I have to break
Let's
through
just use
all
our
that.
cards.
Yeah. Let's just do beautiful angel oracle cards.
Well, and just to be clear, like even using our Lightworkers Unite cards, right? They are in the light and love. They are bathed in good energy, right? Psychically, emotionally, physically, right? Energetically. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to tell you a hard truth, that they're not going to, say, hey, you need to shift yourself out of some negative energy right now. That's one of our cards. Is the negative card. It's part of the balance series, right? Negative and positive. It doesn't mean that they're all good, light, love.
I know, right?
Happy
rainbows,
cards.
Unicorns. Yeah, no, there's and you'll have
They're
a no. We have a no
clear
card in there because sometimes we have to hear
balance.
No, right? No, this isn't for you, or it's okay to say no. It's okay to bring balance. And I think that's
fear.
good.
There's a fucking fear card in there. Like you are living in fear.
It is kind of
right
scary.
now.
It's got spider webs. It's dark. What the?
I know. It's called the Shadow series, and so it is. It kind of pulls you into this, like, hey, sometimes it's really important to look at the Shadow series. But I think the difference with our lens is we're looking at the Shadow series with the intention of moving through it, not sitting in that negative, dense energy. What are you bringing in? I don't know. Like God knows what's going to fucking come. I don't need that.
I don't. But I agree. There's awareness to this. Sometimes we are just kind of moving through life. We do get stuck, and we need someone to maybe acknowledge that and tell us, hey, I have noticed that you are stuck right now, or maybe you're in denial, or whatever that is, taking a look at yourself. So I would do love that about our cards, where it will allow you to say, hey, what areas in my life do I need to make change, make a shift, or even just have clarity and awareness where I'm at. Like, yes, I do feel stuck. Yes, I do need to remove the portal in my bedroom. Yes. I'm feeling and sensing that right now. Really hard.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Not in a scary way, just like it's time.
Yeah.
Like it's time.
I think when when it's time, in a lot of like this portal energy, they always talk about the white light meditation for portal energy. That's a big thing, which we work with all the time. So it's kind of an interesting thing, because people will say, oh, portal energy, because it can be like, we don't know really what's coming in and out. White light portal energy, white light meditation, or invoking white light is a way to blast anything negative.
Correct.
But I just thought that was really interesting, because and it's also very protective. But that's what we use. You and I use that all the time with everything.
Yeah.
Grounding.
And all my meditations, I bring in the white light. I just did it this morning. So funny you bring that up. Absolutely. We breathed it in, actually. The angels had me breathe the white light, and we exhaled smoke. Like,
wow. Yeah.
Toxicity. So I agree with you. The white light, if you ever are finding yourself in question about your intention, just think of white light. Surround yourself with white light. Just set that intention. Know that you are safe, and you're supported always.
Yeah. Always. Yes. But watch a scary movie, have some fun.
Have some fun.
Know your intention.
I know. Speaking of, I want to do a shameless plug for one of my best friends, Julie Stevens, who's in a scary movie or a scary show, The Suburban Screams. John Carpenter, the director of Halloween, The Thing, and all this. worked with her, and she is a leading role in one of the episodes of Suburban Screams. There's 6 episodes, all individual stories based on true events. That to me is even scarier because it's based on true. So she's episode number 6. It's through Peacock, so you have to have Peacock. So and it's right there. But she's the 6th episode. Check her out. She plays a woman who was stalked, like by a stalker, a phone stalker, for like 6 years. They still haven't found him, apparently. So that's kind of like a scary in and of itself. So, but she did a spectacular job to the point where I forgot it was her. I'm watching her. I'm like, there's my friend. I'm watching her. And all of a sudden I'm so engrossed into the story that I forget it's her. I love that. Well done, Julie.
I love it. That's a great actor.
Right?
Yes. Julie. I love it. Oh my God. I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. Yeah. And I love like stories that are based on true, incidences. I think that's fantastic. I know.
I don't.
I know. We're a little different. You and me that way.
Okay, Hallmark, please. No, I know. I wonder why. I used to love Freddy Krueger and Halloween. I just can't sit in that energy. My body says no. Woo. But I do like to get spooked. I like spooky things because then it's like a scream laugh,
Yeah.
And then you laugh afterwards. I like being spooked or scared. Obviously, I love watching videos of people getting scared, but it's interesting where I don't know that I could sit and watch a horror movie. I really struggle. I try.
That's
It's
so
very
funny.
hard.
I know. Well, you don't have to. And you know what? I think maybe it's a season. Like, it was a season of your life where you really liked it and resonated with it. And now you don't.
Well, what kind of things do you and your girls watch? Like, I'll watch Stranger Things. I love that shit. And that can be kind of scary, right?
Yes.
I love that. I like suspense, thriller. I just don't like horror. There's a difference. If it says horror, I'll be like, pass. So
yeah.
Do you like horror?
Yeah, I'm not a big like guts and blood and all that as much. I'm not a huge I don't really care for any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
But I like to watch it sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
I do watch it. I watch all that stuff. Yeah, I like psychological thrillers. I like just I love we just love all of it. All that stuff. I mean, I even love like cold case stuff, real crime dramas that are interesting stuff. Yeah, I
then
love it.
You'll love Suburban Screams then.
Yay. I know, because you're saying it's true, based on true events. Yeah, that's totally my jam. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love
it. Yeah. And it's good to indulge and have fun and do the things that you love, but just, be aware and intentional, right? Like this is I'm gonna have a really good time and I'm gonna just release I'm not inviting any malicious bullshit into my life. And what a great way to live your life in general.
Right. I don't
that's a great mantra.
Don't allow it. Yeah. Don't allow it in. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good job.
Well,
say it again.
Fun.
Say that again. Say that mantra again.
I don't even know what I said. Do not.
I'll go back and edit and put it again. But I liked what you said. And you're like, that makes a good mantra. It is. And I can't pull it out either.
Yeah. I think it was something like, I only invite, maybe you can even just say, I only invite love and light.
Yeah. Exactly.
I only invite
something about I block or I don't let something. Look at us. See, we can't even pull it out.
God. I think we just jumped into a portal of some kind.
So what happened?
Now we have no.
I was like, oh, say that again, and because I wanted to hear it again, and it's gone.
We have no memory of what we just said. It was like portals. We got zapped.
Oh my God, it's out. Done.
I mean, I don't know.
Disappeared.
I know not what I say.
Oh, I
don't know. All right. Well, I love you. This was so much fun. I know we kind of bounced around, but
we'll start off with ghosts, right? This is perfect for the season, our Halloween season. Ghost portals and Ouija boards. There you go.
Ooh, wow. Damn.
That'll be the tagline. That'll reel everyone in.
Intention is everything.
Yeah. Intention is
Yeah.
everything. That's right. Only the
I
love and the
know.
light, people.
Oh, well, yes, only the love
Okay.
and light for all of you beautiful souls.
Thanks
I
for
love you,
joining
and I
us,
love you, Mayum.
listeners. Love you, light workers. Love you, Manj. So great
I love
connecting.
you.
All right, everyone. Until next week. Have a great day.
Yay! Namaste.